for Technique Tuesday for today. We're going to have a little talk about box jumps. First things first, before I continue, next week is Christmas, so we won't be putting out any new videos next week, but we've got plenty of big things in store for you for next year, so make sure you stay up to date and you've subscribed to the YouTube channel and all our other social medias to stay up to date with what we're doing. So, box jumps. I had a question the other day, somebody asking me whether they should or shouldn't be doing box jumps. With box jumps, it shouldn't really be a case of whether you are able to do them or not. Most people will be able to do them. It will be more of a case of should you do them. Okay, so when we do a box jump, or we're doing a box jump in potentially a workout setting, what we're looking for is we want a 2-foot takeoff and a 2-foot landing, being able to establish control all the way through the movement so you can stand up from there. What we'd like to see when you jump up to the top is leaving from a good athletic position, so feet outside the hips, toes pointed forward. As I drive, what I want to avoid as I drive is any knees knocking in at all. So keeping those knees tracking over my toes, maintaining that good athletic position, loading up those hips, big explosion, jumping up, and then when I land at the top, I want to land in that same good athletic position or relatively close to it. So if you're unable to maintain that good position as you leave the ground and then as you land on the box, that's probably the first indicator to say that you shouldn't be doing a box jump. When you get to the top of the box, the biggest thing and the biggest time most people get injured while doing a box jump is the deceleration on the way down. So if they're jumping down and their knees are knocking in when they hit the ground, that's a big precursor for injury, and that's a big problem. So from a workout perspective, you will hear us say extremely regularly whenever you see box jumps in a workout, if you can jump up, step down. That way you take away that deceleration. However, if we're going strict to the letter and what you should and shouldn't be doing, if you can't maintain a good position throughout that deceleration, you probably don't have the requisite strength to be able to do it. So what can you do instead? Well, you can step up. And if you're doing just a regular old step up, you can just step up on the box, stand up nice and tall, and step down. However, if you want to address the issue that needs to be addressed, you probably want to do some more strengthening of your posterior chain. So substituting it for more of an accessory movement step up, like we do it here. For me, when you set up for that type of movement, what you want to do is you actually want the crease of your hip below the top of your knee. Okay, or in line. Taking it above will put a lot of pressure on your knee, and also too, height is a form of intensity. So a lot of people get mistaken when they think that we're going to add intensity to a movement, we're just simply adding weight. We're not. Height and speed are also two other forms of intensity. So by lowering the height, we can make it easier on ourselves. If I'm doing this movement, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my foot on the top of the box, my toe pointed forward. I'm going to think about taking that big toe and digging my big toe into the box to get that glute activation. And as I step up, I want that knee tracking over my foot. I'm going to pause for a split second at the top, and then I'm going to step down. So I would do, let's say, 5 reps each side, and then changing sides, going to that other side, doing the same thing. So doing that as an accessory movement or a substitute for the box jumps is 100% the safer option for a lot of people who, as they do that jump and that plyometric movement, don't have that base level of strength throughout their posterior chain to be able to do that. Now, you can up the ante on that a little bit by increasing the height. As I said, the way we coach it here, we're generally not going to get your knee above the crease of your hip. Once you get to the point where your knee is at your hip and you're able to maintain that good position, as we've said in previous videos, attention to detail is everything when it comes to any form of accessory movements like your YTWs, your ring rows, that type of thing. So when you do it, if you're able to perform it really well with your knee just below the crease of your hip add some weight, grab a pair of dumbbells, pair of kettlebells. You can change up the stimulus, grab a sandbag, throw it over each shoulder, kettlebells in that rack position or kettlebells down by your side. A couple of different things you can do to try and build that strength without putting your body under the stress that it has to go through to do a plyometric movement. So when it comes to box jumps, or any plyos for that matter, you want to make sure that you've ticked the correct boxes before you just progress onto them. Because if you don't, that's going to lead to injury, because a plyometric movement is a ballistic movement, and once you start putting that in, if you don't have the ability to slow yourself down, then that means that you're going to end up crashing at the end. So that's it for this week. Any questions, hit us up. Have a great Christmas and New Year. We'll see you soon.